Let's talk about your multi-level marketing now. When did you jump into that, and what made you be like, you know what? Let me take a leap of faith over here and see what this can do for me.
Yeah, it was another pivot. It was in 2007 when the real estate market crashed,
Yeah.
right? Good friend of mine is Marshall Forson. He was in multi-level marketing, and I had never had anything like some people are skeptical about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was never skeptical about it. I mean, come on. I mean, you know what? You make a $500,000 investment. How can you be skeptical about $500,000 investment? Right? It's really saying you're skeptical about the person that bring it to you. Right? It's not so much you skeptical about the opportunity because the only thing that's needed is to sell either product or service or and introduce it to friends and families. Well, one thing I had enough people that owed me favors, right? Whereas I should be able to ask them at least to look at what I'm looking at, and definitely I had enough people that I could talk to, and I wasn't afraid about, my whole life been about rejection. You get rejection when you build up a life of rejection, and you go through all the stuff you've been to go through. What is a no gonna do for me? Nothing. It's,
Eventually turn into a yes. Somebody gonna say yes.
Yeah. The whole world can't say no to you.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So that is what got me involved in, and then I got involved. I saw that it was I'm very competitive.
I use that term a lot.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do something, I feel like, how do I get to the top? How fast can I get to the top? What do I need to do to get to the top?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Marshall Forson, my mentor, he told me exactly what it is I need to do, and I followed it to the T.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was so coachable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And being coachable, shoot. I mean, I ran right to the top, man. I made, in my first company I was with, I made $7 million. Off of what? At that time, a $500 investment.
Oh, that's what it was, $500 investment.
It was $500.
Mm-hmm.
I turned $500 into $7 million. I've never done it this day today. That real estate. I ain't never bought a property for $500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, flipped it for $7 million.
No, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So the return is definitely there. And then, but the greatest thing about multi-level marketing is the people you meet. The people I was been able to align myself with. People often think that I've known some of these people all my life, some of these powerful people. I knew powerful street people, right? But when we talk about powerful people that are in the world, I mean, I met my first billionaire in network marketing, and then the personal development. It was God preparing me for growth, right? Because I tell people, if you don't do nothing else, if you can get in a company, never miss an event, because the trainers will give you the game of life for nothing. I've been personally mentored by Darren Hardy. I've been mentored by John Maxwell, Robert Kiyosaki, E.T. Hip Hop. I mean,
you met with Robert? You met with Robert?
I got billionaire Mike Seller. I mean, you name it, man.
I remember that event with Darren Hardy down in Orlando, and I picked up some gems from that event as well too.
So I went to he had a special program that he only allowed 12 people to do it. He does about every 5 years.
Okay.
And in his program, you have to make at least 50 to 100. Your company have to make $50 to $100 million a year.
Okay.
To get in this program. He do it at his house. He got a house in San Diego, and he got one in Florida. So this one was in his house in Florida. And so you fill out an application, and he picked me to go to that event. Now, naturally, I wasn't making no $50, $100 million a year.
Right.
And I asked him, why did he pick me?
Right.
And basically he said, because I knew you was from the hood, and I want to see how you perform.
Right.
I see the hustle in you. They can spot it.
Yeah, and he said, and the second reason is because I came, because he also, like he saw at that event, he also came to train the top people at the corporate office at the time. And he said, out of all the top people in the company, you the only one that asks, where can I further my growth? You know, so I was seeking growth, and we got to see growth because, you know, life is, when we talk about personal development, it's no destination.